This one chart is the best indicator that we are about to experience a massive, massive bull run, not just in TradFi, but also in crypto. And that one chart is USBCOI. Aren't you so glad you know now? But seriously, the Purchasing Managers Index, or the PMI, distributed by the Institute for Supply Management, does a couple of things really well. I want to read this blurb because this is the most succinct way I can put it. The Purchasing Managers Index is a monthly survey-based economic indicator that reflects the economic health of the manufacturing and services sectors. So real-world assets, I guess you could say. This part is so important. It is a forward-looking metric, meaning it often signals changes in economic direction before other indicators. Now, what's really exciting about this chart is that this is the snailiest of the snaily charts you could ever find. This is only updated once a month, which means that we don't have to panic based off of any short-term moves that the market throws at us. This one chart going month to month to month is actually showing us enough information to be preparing ourselves for a big, explosive bull move. Now, this is where things get really exciting. But before I show you all the indicators and all the fun stuff that I'm seeing, I need to break down a couple of things. One, we kind of have this neutral line, or a conversion line, I guess you could say, but that sounds more like the Ichimoku cloud. But essentially, values that are greater than 50 basically represent expansion or growth in a sector. So when we see prices going, or not prices, but we see this indicator, this metric going above 50, it's a positive sign of bullish growth. Vice versa, when it falls when it falls down or falls below 50, no, I'm obviously not using a teleprompter, good grief. It means that there is contraction, there's shrinkage in the sector. And when PMI is right at 50, there's basically no change. So this is the make or break line, which is why I have it here. Now, the interesting thing about this chart is that it has a lot of history. It goes all the way back to 1948. Yes, there'll be some periods where it's really quiet, and other periods where it's extremely wild and woolly. But what you should be able to notice, especially if you've been investing and studying economics and finance for any amount of time, that you should be able to recognize that some of these really extreme peaks and these valleys correlate to some very, very interesting moments in the S&P. Let's just start with our current price action. This most recent spike right here was in March 2021. Bookmark that in your brain. And right down here, this is April 2020, basically right after the COVID crash happened in the stock market. And then we saw the PMI drop as well. But what happened after that, it massively rallied. What's crazier is that we can also see a top here in 2018 and a top over here in 2014 and another one over here back in 2010. Of course, we have a major valley here conveniently in December 2008. So I'm just going to stop with that amount of time because there's enough history that most people will know what's happening here. Let's work from the beginning to where we are. 2008 was the housing crash. The housing market crashed massively. The movie, The Big Short, is all about this concept. So Michael Burry made his millions because of that one trade, that one instinctive move. And now he's been saying, sell the market ever since. He's going to be right one of these days. God bless his soul. But we can see a massive drop down here, starting in July 2008, all the way down here to 34. Yes, it eventually recovered 2 years later, but we will see big recoveries after we see major panics, which should be indicating a massive rally or massive recovery rally. But of course, once we hit 50, that's our neutral level. And going above that is when we're kind of hitting a market top. But what also launched in 2009? Bitcoin. Knowing that Bitcoin really made its debut back in 2009 because of the housing market crash, because of all of the banks being bailed out for poor fiscal management. This is where things get really interesting. Now, if we go to the chart of BTC, and now I actually have the S&P primed up here. We can actually do that too. It's okay. We'll do that first, actually. So here's 2008. Here's that same period right here. You can see it. So we're looking at the housing market starting to crash. And then we see it finally bottom out here on the USBCOI, on the PMI. But look, it starts to recover ahead of the S&P. The S&P actually takes 2 more months to finally bottom out. But look what's already happened here. It's starting to curl up higher. And it eventually tops out temporarily. And then we see the stock market fall. Now, of course, the stock market goes a whole lot higher, but one of the biggest moves that we saw in the stock market was back over here, 2018, saw a really nice high. And then, of course, we had a little bit of a drop in 2018, a much bigger drop here in 2020. And of course, the most recent high that we had was back in 2022 before it went up higher. But notice where it's topping out. It's letting us know in advance where these tops are. But things get crazier, way crazier, when we look at the all-time history index for Bitcoin. Because check this out. Again, we have chart information back here for 2009. So looking at when the housing market crashed, the BTC is basically born then. And then look at this. We can actually correlate and map out these highs right over here, 2013. Here's our high in December 2013. And then we see it bottom out, which is wild. And you want to know it's even crazier? Look right here. When it starts to rally, so does Bitcoin. When it tops out over here in 2017, I have to move this down because I can't see. The metric tops out here in 2018, pretty close to the high. And then Bitcoin dumps. We see another amazing rally because of the COVID crash. But look right here, boom, 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 boom. And then it tops out here in March, which is where a lot of other indicators point to the last top of the bull market in 2021. And of course, it trailed back down and it started to rally up again and again. And yet here we are, heading back up to 50. Now, it's one thing to go, okay, cool lines, Aaron. I don't really see the correlation. Oh no, it gets way more exciting than this. Because what I've noticed looking at this chart is that using the trending breakout indicator, which is available through the Better Traders Club, and also through getting access to the 50 Minutes to Financial Freedom course. There's actually a link for that in the description below where you get a 10% off discount by being part of the Coin Bureau family. You've got to see this. Now, I want to show you everything, but I don't want to show you everything yet because it's going to be overwhelming. There's going to be too much, and we don't need to see everything. And again, this isn't necessarily a chart that we're using for trend trading, but you've got to see this. Okay, first off, the big immediate thing, the TBO Close short, these, I forgot one of the, good grief, where are these? Yeah, here we go. Go away. There we go. These orange diamonds. These are TBO Close shorts. They let us know when the the bearish trend should be turning bullish soon. Watch this. These happen just before the PMI starts to top out. Right back over here, July 1st, 2009, and then it tops out here in February 2011. Check it out. Right here, get another close short in June 2016, and it tops out here in 2018, February. Now, we got another one of these printed January 2025. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when we zoom out and remember that this is a monthly chart, the last one of these signals that we saw printed on the chart happened 9 years ago, and it preceded a mega rally for the PMI. Before that was back over here in 2009 after a significant recovery. Back over here, November 2002 and 2001, this is the dot-com bubble. Back over here in the 90s, I know Japan for sure was loving the 90s because they were just printing. Okay, and then we have even recoveries back over here from the 70s and the 80s where all this volatility has happened because of inflation. This alone is exciting. Now, when we couple this with the price of BTC, knowing, wait a second, we saw one of these massive orange dots right before Bitcoin did what? The last time this happened, right here, June 2016, BTC rallied up another 2,000%. I am not saying it's going to do that, but what I am saying is that it also preceded a major rally. If we look at the S&P during this time, the SPX chart, right here, there's also a massive rally from June that really lasted a lot longer. But we'll just say till right here in January, just before this tops out. It's not just a coincidence. There's actually more to this, and this is what's getting me so excited about this chart. Now let's add in a little bit more. We can actually use the inverse, which is the close long. Now I have to change the color so we can see it a lot better. And I'm going to make this color, this ugly pink. Ugh, I hate this color, but it's really easy to see. The close long is the inverse of the close short. Look at where it's being printed. The last one was printed in April 2022, well after the top, but that's okay because this is letting us know the bullish trend is coming to an end. Therefore, take some profits out if you haven't already. And again, putting the chart of BTC down below, we can see right here in April, yes, all right here, April, great. Okay, so this is letting us know, things are going to get a little bit rough, and Bitcoin followed suit. It actually fell another 58%. And we can use this again back over here in December 2018, although we missed the big dump that happened in November. But that's amazing. And it's also letting us know that we should be looking for a bottom pretty soon. Let's bring this back over here to January 2015. Again, not marking the Pico top, but doing a pretty good job of letting us know, yikes, okay, there we are. Now, again, this is really more for the stock market because we are limited in our price action and what symbols we're able to see. But still, this is pretty incredible. Now, we need to add in more. This is where I start to get really excited. Our open long and our open short signals are basically bull or bear confirmations. This is a bullish confirmation. This is a bearish confirmation. I don't care if this is saying it's a bullish confirmation at the very top because I'm using this information to help me identify signals that I need to be paying attention to the next time, because the next time is happening right now. When did the open long print? January 2021, which you have to agree with, that was an incredible time to say, you know what, this is a great time to start taking the profit out of BTC when it was at our close price of $27K. Oh, sorry, $33,000. That's a great top signal warning. And just a couple of months later, we saw it go up to 60K and crash. If we go back over here, check it out, February 2017, letting us know that we have bullish confirmation for our rally. Look at this, and the price going up the next couple of months, up 1,500%, and then it's done. Like this alone is fantastic, and yet there's still more. We can actually grab more from this. And now I want to show you these guys. So we're going to look at our breakout and our breakdowns. These are really amazing because these symbols typically tell us when we should expect the price to bullishly break out to the upside or to the downside. But because this is not a trend-based metric, but rather just a metric giving us information, look at where these are printed. They're literally printed right at the top, which is perfect for us. It's printed right here, basically marking the bottom, marking the top, marking the extreme bottom, extreme top, 2018 January. Are you noticing this date? Are you noticing the time frame here? Literally marking a perfect Pico top here. First, September 2017, and then again, February 2018. Like, how much more perfect can you get it? And right here, letting us know that this is an extreme sell-off because of the breakdown that's there. Again, giving us comfort. And we're not seeing any of these new ones yet. But again, go back. Look, 2008. I mean, this is before crypto really started taking off. So this is wild stuff. And it gets crazier. We can add in so many more of these symbols to identify when we're seeing a massive move. Now, this alone is exciting, but it gets crazier. I'm upping the ante even more. This signal is called TBT divergence. This is available with our pro tier subscription in the Better Traders Club, but that doesn't matter. I just want to share the signals with you. Now, this one has less information, but it does not make it less valid. These let us know when there is an asymmetric bullish or bearish signal. And right here, our TBT bullish divergence was printed on the 1st of April, 1991, which is a great entry for this chart, especially knowing everything that happened in the 90s. Look right here, getting a bearish divergence here in 1994. Yes, of course, the market rallied, but this is also helping us. But what's crazier is that literally right now, well, last year, 2024, and then 2024, 3 of these signals appeared. And looking at the entire history of this chart, seeing 3 bullish divergence signals right here, letting us know that we should be seeing a massive move to the upside. Coupling this with this bullish breakout symbol here, the TBO Close short, I'm looking at this chart going, no way. Again, this is a monthly chart. Nothing's going to be happening right now today. And if it's a monthly chart, what's crazier is that we're going to skim all of this back. We're going to just go off of this orange dot because I want to show you something again to help you out. Check this out. Oh, and by the way, if you like this content, hit the like button. It lets us know if you guys like stuff like this so that way we can make more of it. Now, you're really going to like this. We can actually measure out previously how long did it take until we saw the market top out. So basically right back over here. So it took about 20 bars or 20 months for this PMI to top out. If we go back over here, we can find our PMI, perfect right here. And it took 20 bars to top out. Going back over here, we'll take the first one. It took about 27 bars to top out. Here we go. This one, it took 32 bars to top out. And the further back we go, it's going to be a little bit crazier because we have some wild and woolly moments, but that's pretty great even right there. Now, what do you notice? Yes, the further back we go, the wilder the volatility is going to be. But what do we see here? We see 11 bars, which is really fast. If we take this one right here, then we're looking at 39, 32, 27, 20, 20. It looks to me like we should be looking for a move to last for 20 bars. So if we zoom in again to January, going out 20 bars from here, we're looking at a possible target of when? September 2026, which is crazy. 20 months from now, September 2026, when so many things on my mind, especially for Bitcoin, are focused on this year, November 2025, at least being a market top for Bitcoin. But if we're seeing bullish signals here from the PMI chart, which again give us a broader TradFi focused view of the markets, seeing the last ones triggering, or rather preceding, a massive rally where we saw huge increases in the stock market multiple times over and over and over, I can't help but look at this and feel excited, knowing that Bitcoin is already above $100,000 and continues to scream to higher highs. Could we actually see a new parabolic move for BTC, not just up to my personal targets, but up way higher than expected? Now, the obvious question that has to be answered is, how valid is this chart going to be for Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is still a relatively new asset. We don't have as much history like we have with this PMI chart going back to like 1948. So there are a lot of, well, what ifs? And is it really that reliable? And no, we are fixed to a monthly chart. So we are limited to how much data we have available to with Bitcoin. But knowing how exciting this chart has performed in the past, how it has signaled these massive rallies for TradFi, I can only expect the same treatment to trickle down from TradFi and into Bitcoin to newer and higher highs. I'm really curious to get your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of PMI, or if you have other charts that you found, they're like, wait, how did you not check this chart? You've got to check this chart. Let me know. I'm always happy to learn about new charts, but leave a comment down below. Until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.